Howdy, this is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGame in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to be reviewing MicroMacro Crime City by Johannes Sick. Now, this game has you playing as investigators, solving a case of some sort, and my goodness, you're in Crime City, there's going to be a lot of cases to solve. Now, you do this by exploring on this gigantic map full of all sorts of things, and every case is interwoven on this single gigantic map. So you have a lot of things to dive into. The case will have some sort of name as well as leads that you'll be seeing here. Now this lead will generally have an objective of you to do or a question it will ask you, and when you think you found it, you'll flip over the card and it'll tell you what exactly happened, and it'll show you a picture on the map and a location. That way you can go and see it. And you can also flip them if you do get lost. So I think that's a solid system here, and that's MicroMacro's system in a nutshell. Now, what do I think of the game? Well, first off, I think that this game is fantastic. This might be one of my favorite investigation style games, so being a detective. This game is riddled with clues and hints, and I love the way that they're interwoven on the map. So this map is split into lots of different sections, and each section here is going to have lots of characters in it. So these characters are doing their own thing, but each case will have you looking for maybe a specific one. It also does a really interesting thing where the characters on the board are kind of timelines of themselves. So you'll have a character that appears in one scene, and then you can actually find that character somewhere else, maybe in the future or in the past, and they're doing something else. And I think that's a really cool way to do it. And the way that the map is interwoven from case to case, you might notice something that may not be relevant for your case that may come up later. You hear also just funny things in general. This game is a very much a Where's Waldo vibe with just lots of hidden things that you can notice, and that'll make you chuckle. So the game comes with a lot of cases. You've got a huge stack here of cases. In addition, they actually have more cases on their website that you can pick from, but they rate all the way from the introductory all the way up to a 5-star case. They even have a cute little touch where you can actually play a case right on the cover of the box. So I think that's really fun. You can figure out who murdered this poor burger vendor. And you can kind of see it here, how you can follow him. He's right there, and then he continues moving through the street. I think this is a really cool way to do things. So this game reminds me a lot of games like Detective or Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, where you have some sort of case and you have questions. However, this changes it up by asking you the questions as you play the game instead of at the very end. Now, there is an advanced version where you can get asked those questions at the end of the case if you want a little bit of a challenge, but I do like that the game asks the questions and has objectives for you to complete during the game. It keeps you satisfied, it keeps you on the right track, and my goodness, it's just really rewarding and a lot of fun. The cases themselves are pretty straightforward. You should know before you do jump into this game that some of the cases are pretty ridiculous with the crimes they portray. For example, there's some gang violence in here, there's suicide, there's things like that. And you have to keep in mind this is MicroMacro Crime City, so it is a city filled with crime and terrible deeds. So just be aware of that when you go into this game. If you're playing with young kids, you might want to focus on you might want to look at the scenes beforehand and see if there's something that may be a little bit appropriate. So that is what I would recommend. Now, the game does come with all sorts of things. It comes with these little envelopes here that you can put the cards in. Now, I do have my cards sleeved, so they don't actually fit in the envelopes, so I just keep them in a large stack separate. So not a big deal, but if you don't sleeve your cards, this is a great solution for keeping your different cases organized. And they do include a magnifying glass, which seems like a cool idea, but I found us never using this. It almost felt like a nuisance more than anything, so you can take a leave the magnifying glass. Now, the last thing I'll mention with this game is it's wonderful. I really enjoy the pace of this game. I love that it's easy to teach. I played this game for the first time with my mom, actually, and she is not very much engrossed in games at all. She plays them very casually, mainly just party-style games, and this was amazing. We got started in 10 seconds. She played this little introductory scenario on the cover of the box, and she was ready to play the whole game. We had a great time. We blasted through lots of the scenarios, had a bunch of fun, and I really enjoy this. She liked it so much she went out and found a copy for herself, and I don't blame her. Now, I was lucky enough to get a copy of this from a store in Omaha, Nebraska while I was visiting. People there, this is the game shop, the people there, they recommended that you can do a lot with this map. So this map is really awesome. It's just this huge, giant piece of art with lots of cute little Easter eggs in it. And they actually recommended that I frame this and put it in an office. If you put it in an office, you can give people that are walking by a case card. That could be something they do while they wait. I thought that was a really cool idea. And just the fact that anybody can enjoy this game, I think, is a huge bonus. It's a lot of fun, and wow, I'm really shocked at how much I enjoyed the experience with this. It's wonderful. Super straightforward, super different, and a great take on this detective-style gameplay. So MicroMacro Crime City receives a 9 out of 10 for me. I think this game is fantastic. I can't wait to play more, and I'm curious to see what they'll do with this. I think it's a game that will be easily expandable. You'll just release a new map full of stuff, new cases, and the fact that they're adding more content to this game is awesome. I love that they're adding new stuff, new cases to a pre-existing map. I'm super excited to see what comes next from Johannes. So I really enjoy MicroMacro Crime City, and I'd love to hear what you think about the game. Is this one you'd be interested in trying? Have you played something like this before? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Side Game Strong.